Yo, what is up guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the inform Ollie Watkins' second inform. Before we get into the review, if you do enjoy the video, please do drop it a like, subscribe, comment down below and hit that bell for all the notifications so you know when I upload. Let me know what your thoughts are on Ollie Watkins. Now let's get into the review. So Ollie Watkins, 5'11", high work rates, 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. His work rates, a little bit dodgy but usable still. I did reasonably well with him, 7 games played, 7 goals and 3 assists. Overall, I think this Watkins card is a really good card just for a cheap BPL team. I think he's very usable like that as well. You can see here he's got some great linkability because he's Aston Villa, Premier League and England. He won't be too expensive so he can be used in those SBCs, but he's also very linkable and usable with cards like, for example, Rashford, Sterling. You've obviously got all the English icons. You've got a lot of linkability in there, so he's a really nice card for that. In terms of the attributes, great all-round striker at that level. Of course, if you're wanting an expensive striker, I think it's tougher to get someone for a low price that will do as much as Ollie Watkins can. His shooting, decent enough, finishes most chances you get with him. Acceleration and sprint speed is the wrong way around for me. He needs to have a higher acceleration and lower sprint speed to be more effective, but again, once he gets running at defenders, it is very difficult to stop him because of one of his traits as well, which is of course speedy dribbler. Other standout stats for me are his agility. He's actually a very good dribbler, which I didn't expect. He dribbles very well compared to a lot of strikers who are more sizable and more physically capable as he is. Finally, the best part about this card is his heading and physicality. Generally, his jumping, his winning headers off corners, his strength to hold off some of the defenders. All really good stuff and really high stamina as well, so you can keep running for the entire game, push that sprint speed all around the pitch for the entire 90 minutes. As I mentioned again, speed dribbler, so that's very useful. Once you start going at the defenders, if you're having to stop and start a lot, it is a bit useless in that his acceleration isn't as high as you'd want it to be, so it's more difficult to get going with him. But his agility and other attributes are so high compared to what I would expect that it makes him so usable as an overall card. So, without further ado, let's get into some of the clips.
So guys, getting to some of Ollie Watkins' clips now. We're first going to just show you guys his linkability in terms of his play and how well he does, considering he's not the kind of striker I expected to play like that. I expect him to be a bit big, cumbersome, used mainly on the shoulder, maybe someone a bit like Jamie Vardy, and that is one of my comparable players for him because elements of his style are like that, but other elements of his style are just completely different in that he's a really good player on the ball. His agility and his dribbling is fantastic. Here again, you can see I take the ball here, a little cut and pass, beautiful round the corner pass to Pogba. He makes a good run there as well, just to kind of distract the defender. The final ball here as well, it's not that difficult to pass, it's just a simple ball, but he's usable in that kind of situation. He's not a player who you have to just play off the shoulder. As we see some of his finishes here, managed to get the ball through on time, hold the line well, and he just popped that in the back of the net. Absolutely delightful chip there. A lot of his finishes were very good. His volleys actually weren't that high, but look at this shot here. It's a beautiful little finish. It's not that far out, but it's still difficult to get them right, and he finishes it with aplomb. Again, here you see the linkability, strength there to push down Musa Sissoko, driving at the defender, and this actually counted as an own goal, although I think it would have gone in had the defender not been there. In this next clip here, again, you can see he links up with the play, he gets in behind the defender, he puts himself in a position to score, and that's what I loved about this card's high work rate. Like, he did defend a little bit, but he's got the stamina to do it as well, which means that when you're running around with him like crazy, you can see here again, he gets fouled here, straight back up, high work rate, in on the defender, Pogba drags the man away, and here it's just an easy finish with him. You give him that opportunity, he's slotting that away every single time. In the final clip here as well that we're about to show you, he gets the ball here, holds off the defender very easily, gets around him, and that's Joe Gomez there. He's in on the defender again, and he sagged off him, and he scored a nice easy goal. So guys, in summary for Ollie Watkins, you can see his price there sitting around 71,000 for the PlayStation, 75,000 for the Xbox. Again, 7 goals scored, 3 assists in 7 games played. He was absolutely fantastic for me. Positioning's good, agility's very good again, and I didn't expect that for a big striker like him. He's 5'11", he's big, strong, physical striker, and yet he's still capable of moving about quickly on his feet, getting in the gaps, taking on defenders. I gave him a hot chemistry style just because I wanted to boost several factors of his general striker play. I wasn't too concerned about his passing on, although it isn't the greatest, it's still usable, and I would rather get his finishing, his pace, his dribbling up to that level then where I can start to really make a difference with this card. I think that's the biggest area where he's lacking right now. and maybe where he would benefit from the most in terms of a boost, especially to that acceleration statistic as well, which is on the wrong side of the statistics. You can see the acceleration is 86 and the sprint speed is 93. I would much prefer if that was the other way with him, but c'est la vie, you can't have it all. You can see here some of the strong links we have here. Marcus Rashford, one of them, of course. I just put in another English player just to give you a strong link. But of course, he gets a perfect link to Jack Grealish, who is also a very tidy player to use. You could really set up a formation well where you put Grealish up, start him out on the left and move him into the number 10 position, and that could work really well with Watkins. He's got great passing, great dribbling. The two of them together, it's a perfect link. Great way to build into hybrids. Similar sort of player, it's a mix of the two here that I've put in with Anthony Martial and Jamie Vardy. Maybe closer to Martial than he is to Vardy. But again, overall, a very good, complete, stronger than Martial, maybe more technical than Vardy, maybe not as good at either of them in certain aspects, but a good mix of the two. In terms of his overall ratings, I've taken it down from 100 guys to values out of 10. So again, I think value for money and rating stats wise, he's fantastic. I would 100% recommend buying this card. Key pros and cons you guys can see as well are good as well. So yeah, that's it for the Ollie Watkins review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and in a bit.